Hi, and Happy New Year for all of you who happen to have, a less busy New Year. Wow, Happy Christmas Eve. I cannot get my day straight. I've been writing 2023 for like the last 3 weeks because of my work, and I've been trying to work ahead. And so yeah, my brain is definitely already ahead. Anyway, so I actually did an arrangement today. And it's kind of fun because this has been an arrangement on my mind that I've wanted to do like before Thanksgiving. I got this idea. However, for Thanksgiving, I took a 5-day trip down to my family's. Like it's 5 hours away, and it was a lot for my body. For those who've been following along with my health journey, I'm in a much better place today than I was a year ago. But I still have a long way to go. So that 5-hour, 5-day trip, I am basically getting over it this week. Like I'm finally feeling this week that I'm better. I'm like, okay, I'm actually finally getting back to where I can function normally. So that being said, I did not go back down to my parents for Christmas, which I'm okay with, honestly. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. So I would prefer going down for Thanksgiving than for Christmas. So I had that in my mind whenever I went down for Thanksgiving. I'm like, if I can't make both, that's okay. Anyway, so today I'm like, I have no clue what I'm gonna do for Christmas Eve. Maybe watch some Christmas movies or something. I don't know. I actually probably will write a little bit today. For those who don't know, my alter ego is Amanda Tarot author, and I do some writing. It's more of a hobby right now. Then my music is more of my, main focus. Anyway, so yes, I'm very rambly today because I have nothing better to do. So, but I do have a new arrangement. I just finished it this morning. Well, I did the whole thing this morning. I had the original idea, and actually, if you remember, I posted it on Instagram. It was this is all I had in the very beginning. Keep going. However it would go. Anyway, and most of y'all said yes. So I did change it up, and I actually did something that I really like. So I'm gonna nerd out on you with this arrangement and kind of talk about a little bit about what went inside of my brain while I was doing it. So this next part, I have octaves. So you have your like that. They're broken octaves, but what I did was I did bottom, top, top, bottom. So anyway, it gives it a different sound, and I really like that. Also, this one, because of how I started off with, I'm like, well, it's got to be jazz because, this jazz, easy listening, somewhere in there. I'm not 100% sure of my genres. So I started playing around with different chords, and pretty much, let's see, where was that one chord that I really fell in love with? Pretty much just add a black note. That is pretty much it. It's like, okay, if I'm gonna go somewhere, there's a lot of chromaticism where I take it, and here's one. I added, it's in 4/4, and I added a 6/4 meter measure because I just had to. So after this part with the octaves, because what it was I had to get down to this C right there. And on 4 beats, I didn't like jumping, and it didn't sound good to do. Like I could have, but I wanted more, so then I just did chromaticism. And there's a lot of that in this one. There is a lot of, I need to get here, and I'm here. And it does not sound good to jump, so let's find a way to make my way into it. So right in the next part, and I had to get to an F. And I did not like that. So I did triplets. get from one point to the other was I'm just like, okay, how can I guess link to it. Anyway, so yeah, one of you said it sounds like a march, very energetic. Yeah, it gets a little less marchy as it goes, and then it gets back into it, and then out of it and into it. So this one, I was working on it, and I came up with this part. That's the chord I was looking for earlier. I was doing like that. That is very diatonic sounding. So all I did was I just like, what if I flatted that D instead? And it totally changes the sound, and I love it. Yes. So honestly, I did not do any like theorizing and sitting in here and going, okay, I'm here, what are my chord options for jazz? I literally was just playing around and was like hitting random notes to see what went. I did a little bit of jazz improv in my spring trimester in school. And literally that's what it is. I mean, there is a rhyme and reason to it. There really is a rhyme and reason to it. But it really just kind of comes down to you just kind of hit a bunch of crazy notes and see what fits. So, for the ending, I came back to this, you know, and then I was like, what if I go down? So what ended up happening, and this is why it's in the key of C. Well, I mean, I got the original idea in the key of C, but usually I modulate for a second verse, and I didn't for this one. Several reasons why. The main reason though is because I got this ending. Play the highest note on the piano, and I absolutely love anytime I can get the lowest note or the highest note of the piano. One of these days I will play one of those special pianos that has, you know, a few notes above and a few notes below than what the normal 88 key piano has. Like, I would love to do that one day. Until then, I will definitely use the highest register and the lowest register. Not always, but often. So whenever I realized I could end on that highest note, I'm like, I am so going to do that. And I had the ending, I had the first verse, and then I got the ending, but it's like, I want it to be longer. I don't want it just to be one verse and pretty much 1 minute long. So I'm like, well, what will happen if I transpose it? And so, you know, like let's see, in B. Sound right. Plus, I get a lot of complaints anytime I arrange something in the key of B. Most people don't like reading the key of B, even if they are more late intermediate, early advanced pianists. So because of that, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to throw it in the key of B because I'm going to have people who aren't happy with me. And so I'm like, okay, well, what if I just like transpose the whole thing? You know, don't use the highest C. So maybe if I go A flat to A. Its crispness whenever you change it. I mean, it is a key of C one. So I did the whole thing in the key of C. So that way I can end on the highest note, and it just sounded better in the key of C. It's one of those crazy things with music, but it is a thing. There are certain arrangements that sound better in some keys than in other keys. And if you transpose it, it kind of messes with the integrity of the piece. It's just the way that music works. Anyway, okay, so I think I've talked my nerdy self out with all of this. And so I will play or attempt to play the whole arrangement. It is a little challenging. It's not really advanced, but it's mainly because I like to go fast on it, and I pretty much go too fast on it. So I will attempt to play the whole thing so you can hear it, and I'd love to know your thoughts on it below. So I will admit, I will give a full disclaimer here. It feels a little bit sacrilegious to take Hark the Herald and put it in a jazz fun style. So I know some of you will hate this, and that's okay. I used to hate this style too, and now I love this style. You don't have to love this style one day, that's totally fine too, but it is one of those things that my tastes have changed as I've grown up and gotten older and just studied more music. So if you hate it, that's okay. I don't mind if you hate it. So here is Hark the Herald. I'm gonna call it late intermediate, early advanced jazz arrangement. there you go. And I hope you enjoyed. And we'll see if I do another arrangement today. I've got a few Christmas arrangements left in my idea files. And yeah, if anything, they'll be available for next year. So we'll see what happens. So thanks for joining in and for listening. And I hope you'll have a Merry Christmas.